What's up, guys? Hope your Mother's Day was great and you got a chance to spoil your mom. We're going to take a brief break from our normal format of doing a series, and I just want to pop right in with this. This is called the check-in. So I just want to check in with you guys. So how are you doing? If you responded to that, that's probably a good sign that you need some personal interaction again. But I'm hearing from a lot of you guys that you are either loving this quarantine time, and if you never have to go back to school, that's amazing, or you're going to go crazy if the only people you can look at for another day is your family. So I'm just going to talk for a couple of minutes about some of the things that you may be experiencing or maybe going on in your life, and offer some encouragement or insight. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m., we're going to get back together on Zoom to hang out and pray together. I'm hearing from some of you guys that you are feeling dejected or down, right? Or sad all the time or in a slump. And look, I just want to say, for right now, this is a new time for everybody, so that's normal. We were created to do life together. We were meant to interact and be with one another and talk and communicate. And when that's taken away, it only makes sense that your mood changes. So it's okay to feel down, but what's not okay and what I don't want for you is to be comfortable staying there or even excusing it for the time being. And so this may surprise you, but the Bible is actually full of real people experiencing real moments of weakness, giving their raw feelings to God. If you went to CIY, we looked at a guy named Elisha, right, who had enough, right? A prophet had enough and just asked God to go ahead and kill him. Solomon, one of the richest and wisest people of all time, in Ecclesiastes, just kind of says, hey, my whole life is meaningless. What's the point of all this? And King David writes many Psalms asking God to change his hard circumstance, right? Look, God wants your real self. He doesn't need you to sugarcoat your feelings and be fake with him. He longs for an authentic relationship with his children. Psalm 120 says this right here: I took my trouble to the Lord, I cried out to him, and he answered my prayer. So if you are feeling down, cry out to the Lord, right? Be honest with him and have a moment, a real moment with him, and just tell him what's going on. He already knows, but he wants you to tell him what's going on. Or maybe you're feeling lonely or dejected, right? Maybe depressed or sad wouldn't qualify what you are, but lonely or dejected may, right? And that's totally normal too. Right now, we have to be intentional with our friends and talking with them, because we don't walk past them in the hallway anymore, right? We don't see them at lunch or cut up with them at practice. We have to be intentional and call them and FaceTime or Netflix party a movie with them, right? Go bike riding 6 feet apart. Whatever you do, you need to make sure you're intentional about it, because it doesn't just happen anymore. The only folks you see right now are the folks in your house. I came across this verse this week in Proverbs, and it's Proverbs 18:24. One who has unreliable friends will soon come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. We all need a few really good friends who can encourage us, who can listen to us, and who can help us when times are great and when times are the opposite. And if you can just find one of those, I believe that's better than a whole herd of superficial friends. So if you got that one, then cherish that person and reach out to them. And if you don't have that someone in your life, what I would say is set out to be that person for somebody else, and you will find your real friends there. And that actually may be one of your prayers that needs to happen is, God, show me who my real friends are. Or God, introduce me to somebody who's going to be a friend for a long time in my life. Or maybe, if we were being honest, maybe you could say you used to have a friendship like that, and for whatever reason, it's fallen apart, right? Whether it was something that you did or something that they did, or just the stress of how we're living now. Right now is a great time to rekindle those relationships. And because everything is easier over text, and so you can't see anybody, so you have a good excuse, right? If it was something that you did, reach out to them and apologize. I promise you, just doing that will make you feel so much better. And if it was them, reach out and just say, hey, I miss being your friend. I miss hanging out with you. I miss talking with you. And if they're meant to be in your life, right, they will do their part. I could talk a bunch on this topic right here, but I know I have to keep it moving for 7 minutes. But a verse that actually came out this week too, not came out, they've been out for thousands of years. One that I read this week in our reading, Proverbs 10:12, says this right here: hatred stirs up conflict, but love covers all wrong, right? And that's talking about relationships right there. So make sure you're leading with love. Another thing you might be feeling is boredom. And let me just say, that is totally normal. Most of our normal distractions, our normal schedule is gone. We have way more free time at our disposal. And if you haven't used that how you would have loved to, let me just say, Give yourself grace, and that is okay. If you're feeling unproductive or ineffective, hey, look, that is okay. This is new to all of us. Personally, I hang my hat on my work ethic, and when I'm not able to work as much or as hard as I usually am, I can feel my self-esteem or my confidence going down. But a disruption in our schedule can actually be a huge blessing for us if we allow it to, right? This can be a time to start something new, a time to plan for your future, a time to look at your time and think, okay, where am I investing my time and should I be investing it there? A time to break habits or make habits. For me, I'm deciding to eat healthier again, which means to limit how many times I pull into the Chick-fil-A drive-thru or go to Quick Trip and get some of their roller food. That's a guilty pleasure for me. Or maybe, this could be a time where you set up and make a spiritual habit with God that will take your relationship with Him to the next level, right? To kind of plant for your future. So here are 3 things I think you should be doing, right? First thing, take care of yourself physically. Make sure you're eating well. Make sure you're moving. Make sure you keep a sleep schedule. Don't oversleep, don't undersleep. Don't sleep until noon. Don't go to bed at 4 a.m. Take care of yourself relationally, like we talked about. Reach out to your friends, and you have to be intentional about it. And take care of yourself spiritually. Start a habit that brings you closer to God. If you alone do that, it is impossible for this last, 2 months is this now? 8 weeks, for this time to be a waste, right? So again, Helena and I miss you guys. Sorry, my mouth is super dry. Hop on Zoom Sunday at 5 p.m. for part 2 of the check-in. We can't wait to hear from you guys. The code is below. I hope I'm over 7 minutes.
Meme time, y'all.